Here's a CNBC-TV18 exclusive. We learn the government may soon take a decision on whether to continue or discontinue the current sovereign gold bond scheme. Sources say this matter is likely to be decided on in September. Remember, as we had reported earlier, the government is not comfortable with the fiscal cost of these bonds in the current state. Sapna's joining us now with more. Sapna, the likelihood of the sovereign gold bond scheme continuing post-September, what's the expectation? What's the sense that you get?
Well, the expectation certainly is not looking extremely bright in terms of the scheme continuing because, as we have been pointing out earlier also, there are fiscal costs that the government has to bear, on this scheme right now, given the fact the way the metal prices have rallied, gold prices have rallied, and plus there is a lot of tax rebate under the scheme. It also carries a 2.5% annual interest, so to speak. So, it's quite likely that a full review will be taken up in September when the H2 borrowing calendar is decided along with the Reserve Bank of India, and a decision will be taken whether to continue or not continue. So, if the government and RBI decide not to continue with the sovereign gold bond scheme, what it means is that there won't be any further issuances. That's one. Now, the second element that we also need to keep in mind is that on two fronts the government is pretty uncomfortable. One, of course, that is one of the most expensive borrowing tools for them in terms of financing the deficit. And also some clarification coming in that this is more of an investment scheme and not a social security scheme, say like the small savings where you have a PPF or a Sukanya Samriddhi, where the government is bound to make good whatever money that is coming in that needs to be paid at a certain interest rate, along with some tax incentives at least for one or two of the schemes. So that's the second rationale. Third, of course, as of now, we are given to understand that there is no alternative on the table to the SGB, so to speak. But of course, a call will first have to be taken, whether it's to be discontinued or whether it's to be continued at all or not. Now, 18,500 crores is what the government has penciled in as tentative borrowings from the SGB. Now, in case there are no other fresh issuances, if the scheme does not continue, it may be just possible that this borrowing will not happen. So that could be the other likelihood. We need to keep all of this in mind, and it's going to be a conscious call between the RBI and the government of India.